Welcome to the second online training session for the startup method on finding ideas. This session we're going to be looking at the slides for how to train entrepreneurs on being able to find better business ideas and better product ideas. The whole goal of this session really is to, one, convince the entrepreneur that spending time coming up with great business and product ideas is time well spent, and two, to teach them a few of the best methods there are for finding ideas. So why are ideas important? Well, they've just done the activity, and what they would do here is you just explain that really a 1,000-point activity is finding the right business idea or product idea. Also, there's a lot of research which shows that entrepreneurs that generate better ideas or companies that spend time generating better ideas do better than those that don't. So the first is a major study on innovators, so you tell them about that study. The second one is research showing that companies that introduce idea management process improve sales. And then the big one is one of the best predictors of startup success is the actual idea. So you go through this study on why startups in certain industries outperform startups in other industries. So where could they get ideas? Well, this is really, we go through the 5 different ways that the entrepreneur can get business ideas. The first one is deep industry knowledge, and you go through a little bit of research on the deep industry knowledge, and then you sell them on the idea that they can develop deep industry knowledge, literally years of industry knowledge, if they just go and talk to enough people in the industry. They're going to become very comfortable and understand a whole lot of new things that they could never learn at university or a book if they just go and chat and interview and meet with a number of industry employees and players. The next one is lead users. So in this section you just identify what a lead user is and explain how they then should be going and tracking down these lead users. So we just explain what a lead user is, give them a little video on lead users. I sometimes talk them through the video. Afterwards, have a little bit of a discussion about where they've actually come across lead users. Then give some examples, show them a little bit of research around how common lead users are, and the research that shows how many innovations actually come from lead users. And then finally, they need to then identify lead users. It's worth them actually putting down a lead user plan and maybe doing a little exercise if you've got time where they say where in their life are they actually lead users. So where have they actually been a user of a product and wanted to modify and adapt it? Well, then that's the example of them being a lead user, and all they need to do is then take that idea and commercialize it. The next one is solving problems. So I give them a few examples about how successful companies solve problems, and then their idea is to obviously keep their eyes open for real problems that they could actually solve and people would pay to have solved in their community. The fourth way that entrepreneurs get their great ideas is from networking. So obviously here we want to encourage them to network, be meeting with a lot of people. So I just show them a little bit of research, give them some examples of how the BlackBerry came around from networking, how the idea for the Macintosh computer came about from networking, and then obviously encourage them to go out there and network so they can get those brilliant ideas to build a business. The fifth way that entrepreneurs get their great ideas is observing. Here what I do is just show them a little bit of research around new products, and the major reason that new products fail is companies don't understand their customers. And the only way to truly understand a customer is observe what they do. So there's a whole branch of research called ethnography, a branch of anthropology which involves actually watching what customers do. One of the famous examples is Paco Underhill. He runs a consulting company where what they just do is watch shoppers and learn a whole lot of new things about how to improve a retail store just by how watching shoppers behave. Also what you find is that startup entrepreneurs and innovators tend to have better observing skills than non-innovators. Then I tell the story of Scott Cook and how he got his idea for Intuit and QuickBooks from observing, and the story of Rajan Tata and how he got the idea of Nano from observing. And then the important thing is that ideally they must get people to observe, they must observe people actually using their product or observe around them, look for opportunities by just becoming aware. So those are the 5 major ways that entrepreneurs get their ideas, as the research tells us, and all of those are very accessible to anyone. They can develop deep industry knowledge, lead users, solve problems, network and observe, and they need to go out and do it, and they're going to do it during the course. And obviously you have to get them excited that this can really make the difference between them succeeding in business or failing in business. So then at the end of the session, what we do is we do an exercise where they have to brainstorm 5 good ideas using the methods that we've just come up with, and 5 bad ideas. And then the one person in the group must then present it to the class, a good idea and bad idea. So give them a couple of examples first of what really bad ideas are: selling ice to Eskimos, or selling cars to beggars who can't afford them. And then the best ideas must come from techniques that they've just learnt, and you can maybe give them 1 or 2 good ideas of what a good idea is versus a bad idea. Also, quite a good one after doing this exercise is to then actually list all the different good ideas and bad ideas if you have time, and compare and say, okay, what are the common aspects in good ideas? What are the common aspects in bad ideas? And that's a nice preamble to the next session where they get taught about how to evaluate a good idea and a bad idea. This is the slide I just put up once I've told them what they need to do, just so they can use those 5 techniques to hopefully generate some good